first interview is with Paddy, and we're here in Dublin too. And Paddy is homeless, and he's agreed to talk to me, but he doesn't want to have his face filmed for obvious reasons. Paddy, I'm going to ask you just a series of questions. If you could answer me in your own words, then. How long have you been homeless?
6 years on and off.
6 years on and off. And what happened that you first became homeless?
Drug abuse.
So, one of the questions I wanted to ask is if you have an addiction, if that was part of it.
Yeah, part of it, yeah.
And what kind of drug were you abusing? Have you ever used methadone or tried to get sorted out in that respect? Or?
I did for about a year and a half. I was on a clinic. I gave up.
Why? Just
Got myself clean, came off everything.
how'd you end up back on the smack then? Just you did.
Happened, yeah.
Regarding your drug, did you start off with softer drugs and then graduate up, or did you just go? Were you skin popping or chasing the dragon, or straight into mainline?
I started smoking first, chasing, and then on the mainline. Yeah.
And how many years have you been an addict now?
Heroin for 12 years now.
12 years. Jesus. How do you survive? Just on the street. Do you have any family in town or in the city?
Yeah, I do.
Is it a case that you're just not in speaking terms with them?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been offered any accommodation by the state?
No. I got myself a flat about 2 years ago up in Fitzroy. Through rent allowance and all that, you know.
Out now looking around for more people who are homeless and out in the rain. It's an absolutely awful day in town. If you look over my shoulder, you'll probably see most people are carrying umbrellas. It's raining. I can't really think of a more depressing day to be without a home or anywhere to go. So we're walking up through by the back of Molesworth Street, and there's usually a few people in an archway up there that we're trying to talk. I'm guessing from your accent you're from up north?
Yeah. I'm from hostels.
I wanted to ask you, how long have you been homeless now?
This time, 2 years and 4 months. Constantly on the street.
It's happened in the past before?
Yeah, it has. There's been drips and drabs over the space of 20 years.
But
I've always managed to get it together.
What happened that you became homeless?
I was doing outreach work with the same community.
I'm just going to stand up behind this camera so that the wind doesn't wreck the mic. You're doing outreach work?
With the same community in Galway.
Uh-huh.
And a member of staff didn't like me for no reason. I never argued with her. I never fought with her or anything. But she didn't like me. I just
want to ask you, how long have you been homeless?
Since I'm 16.
How old are you now? 14 years you've been homeless.
Yeah.
And do you follow any of the events in the news? Do you ever hear about recession, banking crisis, all this stuff?
I don't know, I can't read and write, man. I don't know what to look at.
You've just no idea what really what's happening in the country. Have you noticed? Have you heard that there's more people losing jobs or anything? Or?
Yeah, I hear little bits about it, but it doesn't involve me because I never had a job. You get me?
So basically, whatever really happens, your lot is the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found myself in danger, so I had to give up my flat and leave Galway.
And how do you survive now?
Playing the whistle on the street. I get labour money, by the way. I get labour money once a week.
Do you have a home at all, or anywhere you can go for shelter?
Last night was the first night I had shelter in over 4 weeks. And it'd be one night every 4 weeks, or maybe 3 nights every 4 weeks.
Where do you go?
I went to a place called Cedar House. It's run by the Salvation Army.
Okay.
Marlborough Street.
Why don't you go every week or every day?
Because sometimes it can be a bit full of people. It's drunk and it's a bit intimidating.
Okay. Do you have a home?
No.
So where do you stay at night?
I do my best to get on a night bus, which is a place that takes you to several hostels, which can be terrifying, to say the least.
The hostels can?
Yeah.
Because of the people in them?
Yes.
Is that, are your concerns violence, or that they'll rob things from you, or?
Violence and robbery.
You're one of the first people I've seen having a drink. Would you use anything else, drugs, or?
Yes, I would, yeah. I'd use heroin.
Would you be smoking, or chasing it, or shooting it?
Smoking.
Spliff-wise, or chasing?
Chasing, sorry.
So would you say, like I see you're having a drink, are you primarily, do you prefer drinking, or do you have a hunger for heroin?
I think drinking is my primary love, yeah. Actually, I know it is my primary love. Because I'm not all that pushed at the moment to have a fucking...
have a smoke?
Yeah.
How much is
But
it?
I know other people that are. How much is what?
How much is it for tag now?
What do you mean for tag?
How much is it for a bag?
Well, you can pay 15 for a shit bag, or you can pay 20 for a decent bag.
How long have you been on the streets now?
About a year now.
Is there no support when you're on the street?
There is a little bit support, but Simon Outreach is support sometimes. But most of the time the hostels are full and then you can't get into them. And
Where you going? The hostel is full.
you sleep on the streets and the doorways.
Very, very emotional.
Uh,
How did you become homeless?
I had a falling out with my family, and the family kicked me out, and I started getting involved in drugs, and ended up on the streets.
When you say drugs, are you referring to heroin, or?
I mostly drink. I was a drinker. I'm an alcoholic. I was an alcoholic at 17. I started drinking heavy. My father died when I was 17, and I started drinking heavy then. And then my mother passed away, and that, so there was no I had no support from anybody, so I was just left on the streets.
What happens? Is there absolutely no support out there for a person?
Well, it's trying to get rental out from that. It's very hard to get rental out of the landlord, you know. There's not much support. There's